Seismic S wave which cannot travel through liquid disappear at the Gutenberg discontinuity. This provides the most compelling image of the following: the presence of plastic like asthenosphere, the transition from cross to mental, the liquid state of the outer core, the extension of a solid inner core. The seismic S seismic wave, primary wave, secondary wave, P wave और S wave. P wave ର velocity कमिजाए liquid ଆସିଲେ, liquid medium ଆସିଲେ S wave stop ହେଇଯାଏ, velocity बहुत कम travel through the liquid. Okay, disappear the Gutenberg discontinuity. Gutenberg discontinuity କୁଆକା ଭିତରେ mental ଆଉ outer core ଟା liquid, inner core ଟା solid. This provides the most compelling evidence for which of the following: the presence of plastic as the transition from cross to mental, the liquid state of outer core, sure, the existence of solid inner core. Liquid the velocity कमिजाए S wave. Okay, which of the following atmospheric layer is characterized by temperature decrease with increased altitude and content of majority of earth water vapor? Which of the following atmospheric layer is characterized by temperature decrease with increasing altitude and contains the majority of the earth water vapor? So the following atmospheric layer is characterized by temperature decrease. By temperature decrease with increased altitude temperature contain the majority of earth water vapor. Temperature decreases, first temperature decrease troposphere temperature कमिବ, stratosphere temperature बढ़ିବ. The earth magnetic field is crucial for protecting the planet from harmful solar radiation, but the primary source of magnetic field. The core, inner core जो अच्छी हमारो iron nickel, the convention of molten iron and nickel in the liquid outer core, the intersection between the earth atmosphere and the solar wind, the friction between not at the presence of massive solid magnetized iron inner core, sorry, outer core, the presence of molten iron and nickel in the liquid outer core. Which of the following statement about sealed volcano? Sealed volcano steep टा slope टा gentle slope हो, तो they are typically located at the convergent plate boundary. One are associated with the subduction zone. ठीक अच्छी. They are formed by thick viscous lava that travels short distance. They are characterized by explosive eruption and expulsion when they are gentle slope slide and are built by eruption, low viscosity basaltic lava. Sealed volcanoes get their name from both gentle sloping shape resembling a warrior shield. They are formed by fluid basaltic lava flow easily and covers vast area. The rock cycle describes the transformation of a rock. How can a metamorphic rock become a sedimentary rock? Sedimentary means स्थरीभूत शिला, metamorphic means change होता नहीं. Heat and pressure cause it to recrystallize by being uplifted on the surface, weathered, erode, and then its sediment are compacted and cemented. By being directly transformed by subduction and mental compression, by melting into magma and then cooling to solidify. By being uplifted to the surface, weathered, erode, and then its sediments are compacted and cemented. Okay, the metamorphic at a depth must first be brought to the surface through upliftment, where it is then broken down by weathering and erosion. The resulting sediment are taken, transported, deposited, and lifted to form a new sedimentary rock. The most significant factor driving thermohaline circulation in the world ocean is the most significant factor driving thermohaline circulation. Difference in the water density cause variation in the temperature and salinity circulation. Gravitational pull, wind pattern and releases volcanic activity on the surface. I think this is salinity caused by variation in the temperature and salinity. Circulation is driven by difference in water density, which are controlled by temperature and salinity. Cold salt water is denser and sink. Okay, driving the global conveyor belt. Thank you. Okay, next 37 we'll discuss. Which of the following the most accurate description? Which of the following the most appropriate accurate description of the Earth's thermosphere? A soft, ductile, and semi-molten layer of the mantle upon which tectonic plates move. The outermost solid part, the Earth's interior, composed of iron and nickel, the layer of the atmosphere where weather and climate occur. Regional outer layer include the crust and the upper mantle, asthenosphere. Plate tectonic movement. The Milankovitch cycles are cyclical change in the Earth's orbit and rotation that influence long-term climate. Which of the following is not a component of this cycle? The Milankovitch cycle are cyclical change in the Earth orbit and rotation that influence long-term climate. The following is not a component of this cycle. Eccentricity. Milankovitch cycle are cycle change in the Earth orbit at that influence long-term climate. Following is not eccentricity. The Earth rotation orbit of depend करियो जितने eccentricity हो eccentricity जे जीरो हो circular orbit हो एक हेले elliptical हो एक रो अधिक हेले hyperbola हो तो eccentricity ऊपर depend करियो precession. Axial tilt the angle of Earth axis. अच्छा the speed of Earth rotation speed ऊपर तो depend करियो climate. तो precession of eccentricity axial tilt. multi-thousand-year cycle that occurs the Earth climate. While the speed of the Earth rotation has minor variation in not a part of the long-term cyclic Milankovitch cycle that influence climate over 10 or 1000 years. When an earthquake occurs, which type of seismic wave is fastest and what is the rate of OSSC 2023 previous year question. Which an earthquake occurs, which type of seismic wave is the fastest and the fast to be recorded by seismograph? L wave, log wave. Primary wave are compressional wave that travel through both solid and liquid. They are the fastest for the seismic wave and are the अच्छा ठीक है which L wave the most destructive wave अधिक क्षति करे. Which when an earthquake occurs, which type of seismic wave is fastest and the fast be recorded by seismograph? Seismograph रे fast recorded primary wave, secondary wave, P wave और S wave. P wave ର speed अधिक, S wave ର कम. P wave सब मीडियम जाइपर सॉलिड लिक्विड गैस रे आउ एस वेव केवल लिक्विड मीडियम रे एस टा केवल सॉलिड रे गैस रे जाइपर. तो प्राइमरी वेव रो है प्राइमरी वेव कंप्रेशनल वेव. प्राइमरी वेव लाइक साउंड वेव्स रेयर फ्रैक्शन कंप्रेशन और रेयर फ्रैक्शन मेथड जाए आउ वेव वाला ट्रांसवर्स वेव वाला एस वेव सेकेंडरी वेव. travel through both liquid. They are the fastest of the seismic wave and are the fast to arrive at the seismograph. ଅଧିକ ଯଦି destruction କିଏ କରେ ତାହେଲେ ଏଲୋ ୱେଭ୍ ହେଇଥାନ୍ତା। ଠିକ୍ ଅଛି ପ୍ରାଇମେରୀ ନେକ୍ସଟ अर्थ कोर मेंटल बाउंड्री कोर मेंटल अच्छा ये मेजर डिस्काउंट व्हाट इज द की कैरेक्टर ऑफ द मेंटल on the either side of this boundary solid silicate metal and a solid iron nickel core on the iron nickel metal a solid silicate metal and a liquid iron core outer core से ना a liquid iron nickel metal solid silicate core है liquid non ये देखो अर्थ कोर मेंटल सहित अपर कोर आउटर कोर वाला लिक्विड मीन्स ए लिक्विड ऑफ आयरन निकेल मेंटल एंड सॉलिड सिलिकेट कोर सॉलिड सिलिकेट मेंटल एंड ए लिक्विड आयरन निकेल कोर मेंटल इज primarily composed of dense solid silicate rock and the outer core which lies directly below it. A liquid made up of molten iron nickel just a minute. The Lehman discontinuous seismic boundary that separate which two layers of Earth interior. Lehman Mohodala crossed out mental upper mental have crossed. Lehman hala mental have core mental have outer core mental and outer core Lehman. Gutenberg hala okay Mohala crossed mental Gutenberg hala mental and outer core and then Lehman discontinued hala inner and outer core the Lehman discontinued seismic boundary that separate inner and outer core. ठीक the following is the most accurate description of the P wave generated by earthquake. They are surface wave that cause the ground to shake the horizontal. They are compressional waves that travel through both solid and liquid phase. Seismic wave. They are body wave as travel only through solid rock and second to arrive the seismic wave not at all. They are type of surface wave na causing ground surface wave na body wave, P wave, primary and secondary wave. Primary wave are compressional waves that travel through both solid and liquid. The air properties generally thicker and less dense than the oceanic crust. Which of the following? What is the primary composition? Continental crust, mental granite, crust generally thicker and less dense than the oceanic crust. What is the primary composition? क्या होगा? Continental crust is primary limestone. Continental crust is primary mental is primary granite mental is primary petrite. The continental crust is primary basalt and mental is पता नहीं. Crust is primary granite, continental crust primary granite and the mental is primary petrite. Calcium rock like granite. Elegant distance. Metal is composed which is the following described process of exfoliation. The physical weathering exfoliation. The expansion or contraction of mineral in a rock due to extreme temperature change. The peeling of outer layer due to decreasing pressure and removal of overlying rock. The splitting of rock layer due to repeated freezing and throwing water in cracks. The breaking down by the chemical reaction. Peeling of outer rock layer due to decreasing pressure. The splitting of breakdown rock by chemical reaction. I think it peeling of outer rock layer due to pressure. Exfoliation is a type of a rock that was formed under high pressure is exposed at the surface. The reduction in pressure caused the outer layer to peel out. It is similar to the layer of an onion. Exfoliation. ठीक है. What is the primary factor drives the process of plate tectonic? In addition to mental convention, what are other two forces? Primary factor the earth rotation, additional force thermal expansion or contraction. Primary factor convention current, additional force wind gravity. Primary convention current, additional force ridge push and slab pull. Primary factor gravitational force ridge push and slab pull. Convention according to the mental are primary engine for plate tectonics. The additional force of ridge push, gravitational driven force at mediasonic phase, and slab pull, gravity driven force at the subduction zone also contribute. Which of the following best describe the El Nino Southern Oscillation? El Nino Southern Oscillation is a geological event where fault line slips causing an earthquake and tsunami. Global ice volume sea level, a cyclical event in equatorial Pacific Ocean that involves temporary warming of sea surface temperature and shift in atmospheric pressure are the process of rising sea level, not at all. El Nino कौन है? समुद्र पैसिफिक ओशन का टेम्परेचर बढ़ जाए. Cyclic event in the equatorial Pacific Ocean that involve a temporary warming of sea surface temperature and shift in atmospheric pressure. Climate pattern in equatorial Pacific that involve a reversal of trend wind and warming of the sea surface, which is a sufficient global climate impact. El Nino. What is the primary role of the Earth's magnetic field in relation to solar wind? It is not strong enough, but it acts as a protective shield, deflecting most of the charge particle from solar wind or from the atmosphere. Protective shield नहीं, deflecting most of the charge particle from solar wind. It helps regulate the Earth temperature, not at all. It traps the solar wind. It acts as a protective shield, deflecting the most of the charge particles from the solar wind away from the atmosphere. What is the following feature is most likely to be formed by glacial erosion? What the following feature is the most likely to be formed by glacial erosion? Glacial erosion. U shape value, V shape value, river erosion, sand dune तो depositional land, delta तो river circuit. Steep section. The stratosphere contains ozone layer. What is the approximate composition of the atmosphere by volume in this layer? 50% water vapor and 21% of nitrogen. What is the approximate composition of the atmosphere by the volume in these layers? सेम रहेगा ना, नाइट्रोजन और ऑक्सीजन रेशियो सेम रहेगा, the atmosphere primarily composed of nitrogen and oxygen with nitrogen. The ring of fire is a major area of seismic and volcanic activity in the Pacific Ocean. This area is characterized by which of the following? A series of Pacific Ocean ring of a series of convergent plate boundary where subduction is occurring. A series of convergent plate boundary where subduction is occurring. A ring of fire is a result of subduction zone at convergent boundary around the Pacific plate. The oceanic layer are being forced onto the continental plate, leading to interesting volcanic and seismic activities. 34 out of 50. आज खत्म कर दूँ और इसको केवल अर्थ कर दूँ. Big Bang Theory, dark energy, dark matter, gravitational wave, Higgs boson. Tomorrow I'll complete this. Which of the following pairs describe Gutenberg discontinuous boundary between crust and the mantle, boundary between lithosphere and thermosphere, boundary between mantle and outer core, Gutenberg. What is the primary factor that drive the process of thermal circulation in the world ocean? What is the primary factor that drive the process of thermal circulation in the world's ocean? The primary factor that what is the primary factor that divert thermohaline circulation in the world's ocean? Okay. What is the primary factor that drive the process of thermohaline circulation? Thermohaline, temperature of salinity circulation in the world's ocean. The continuous movement of water on the above and below the surface of the gravitational pull occurs. Difference water density caused by variation in temperature. The great oxygenesis event was a significant period in Earth history. Which of the following best describe the primary cause and effect? The production of free oxygen by photosynthesis is cyanobacteria, leading to the oxygenation of ocean and atmosphere. The geological process where atmospheric gases trap the long wave radiation warming the plant surface, the formation of the vast continents as a result of early plate tectonic activities, the rapid diversification life from particularly complex multicellular organisms that occur in it. Great oxygenation event. The product of free oxygen by cyanobacteria, photosynthetic bacteria reducing oxygen. The great oxygenation event was the direct result of photosynthetic organisms like cyanobacteria producing oxygen, which fundamentally changed the planet atmosphere and allowed for the evolution of breathing life. The Earth's magnetic field is crucial for protecting the planet from harmful solar radiation. What are the primary sources for the magnetic field? Inner nickel, the presence of massive solid ionized iron inner core. The convention of molten iron nickel liquid outer core. The movement of the molten electrically conductive iron and nickel in the liquid outer core act as a Hessian dynamo. Okay. How can a sedimentary rock be transformed into a igneous rock within the rock cycle? Sedimentary weakness. Sedimentary weakness. Entered into new sediment by being melted and magma and cooled to solid by being zero matter by being subject to high pressure and without melting. Being melted and magma and then cooled to solid fiction. The magma or the solid by or the weakness is the Earth's continental crust is primarily composed of which rock type, and how does the composition compare to that the oceanic crust? The Earth's continental crust is primarily composed of which rock type, and how does its composition compare to that of oceanic crust? The Earth's continental crust is primarily composed of which rock type? How does its composition compare to the other oceanic continental crust is granite? Continental crust is denser than the basalt. Continental crust is granite, denser than the basalt. Oceanic crust, continental crust is basalt. Continental crust is basalt. Continental crust is granite. Continental crust is granite, which is dense, not which is denser than the basalt or the oceanic crust, which is less dense. Continental coastal granite, the density form glacial silicon aluminum silicon or magnesium ରହିଲା oceanic crust ରହିଲା basaltic डाला felsic. Which of the following is an example of a chemical weathering? Forced welding, where water freezes, cracks and expands to break the rock. Chemical grinding the rock and sediment by glacier. Exfoliation, where rock peels away in the acidity of the release of pressure. The dissolution of limestones by acid. What is the primary cause of the daily and monthly changes in ocean tide? Vibration for a star-like slip fault, a type of tectonic plate boundary which is the following best describe the movement of a strike slip fault, a type of tectonic plate boundary which is the following best describe the movement of plates. This type of fault plates are cooling causing significance. The name of this type of fault gives a clue to direction and movement of terrain. Strike slip fault is a type of technical plate boundary which is the following the plate of which type is fault. Plates are colliding causing significant force of plate. Plates are moving sideways. One plate is being pushed beneath another, forming a depression trend. Plates are moving upward. Slip fault, strike slip fault.